Hello everyone, it's Karen and welcome to another vinyl update. Now today we're going to have a vinyl update number 34. Now this is stuff I've acquired over the last month, since my last vinyl update. I've got a book, a lot of CDs, a couple of DVDs, a few records, and one 7-inch single. So we're going to start with the book. Now I meant to show this in my last vinyl update, but I forgot to show it. But it's this book, The Beatles, I Was There. Fans tell their unique stories from Wilton Fate to the Candlestick Park. Now this is a book that has been compiled by Richard Hewden, don't know how you say that, and it's basically people who attended Beatles concerts from 1957 till 66, like the early days and through to their last tour, and even people who met them as well. So yeah, there's the back. Really interesting read, one that I really recommend. I'll just go through them all. So it's one page. Fans as well at the time who were called the concerts. I really like hearing a lot of these stories. So yeah, I'm just showing you random pages. So yeah, really great book. One I really recommend you read. This is from 2016. My mum got this in a charity shop. Yeah, really good. Okay, now we'll go over the CDs. Now most of these come from a Socket record shop. I was recently in Glasgow. The first few come from Glasgow, but there's some different places in between and some other Glasgow ones as well later on. So I was there because it was my sister's graduation, and Mum and Dad went to the ceremony, and I just went about looking around at the record shops and bought some things there. So got start CDs. First up is the best 60s album in the world ever, 4. This is double disc set of a lot of great 60s songs. So we've got Simon and Garfunkel, the Everly Brothers, Roy Orbison, Bob Dylan, yeah, a lot of people. The Kinks, even Fleetwood Mac as well. So yeah, a lot of people. This is the 4th volume. I've got volumes 1 and 2, but I've yet to find volume 3. But I'll hopefully find them. There's disc 1, and we have disc 2. So yeah, nice to have this one. Hopefully I'll find volume 3. That come from this, and then these next few come from missing, but there's some from my HMV and FOP as well. The Rolling Stones, No Security. This is from their 1998 Bridge to Babylon tour. A lot of recordings from their 1998 Bridge to Babylon tour. And the 97 as well, because I think there's some 97 shows in there as well. This came out in 1998. Yeah, nice to have this one. Bob Dylan, Modern Times. This is his 2006 album. Yeah, I've got quite a few Bob Dylan stuff. I don't have too many of his later day albums, but hopefully I'll find them. Vinyl or CD. We have Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell 2, also known as Back Into Hell. I've had Bat Out of Hell 1 on vinyl for a long time, and I wanted to hear Bat Out of Hell 2, so I recently heard it, really enjoyed it. And yeah, really good album. The first track, I Do Anything with Love, But I Won't Do That, is great. Life's Lemon, I Want My Money Back, Rock and Roll Dreams Come Through. The Jim Steinman version of this one's great as well. Out of the Frying Pan Into the Fire, and Lost Boys and Golden Girls is great as well. And so is Objects in the Rear View Mirror. Maybe played closer than they are as well. So it's a great album, this one. Came out in 1993. And do I like it as much as Bat Out of Hell 1? Yeah, I think I do. I do quite like it as much as Bat Out of Hell 1. Next up, The Who, live at the Fillmore East, 1968. This is a 1968 live recording that came out in 2018. Oh, the disc is falling out. There's the 2 CDs there. And the book as well. So there's that one. He's even got a 33-minute version of My Generation. I don't know if I could listen to it that long. And the last one from missing is this, Elton John, The Lockdown Sessions. I never really bothered to get it at the time, but I saw it for a good price, and yeah, I thought I might as well get it. The songs there. The first track is Cold Heart with Dua Lipa, and oh my god, I don't know why that's the first song, because that song got played to death constantly, and I've never particularly liked that, to be honest, but I'm sure some of the others won't be bad. Some of them might be quite interesting, because he does stuff with Stevie Nicks and Glenn Campbell as well, and Stevie Wonder as well, and there's even Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam, so there might be some interesting stuff on here, so might not all might be bad, so, but yeah, I thought I'd get it for the collection. This next one I got from Paul McCartney, Driving Rain, or Joe, me Mr. Mayo calls it Thriving Pain. I haven't heard this album, I don't know what it's like, but it might not be bad. I know some people don't like it as much, but it should hopefully not be a bad album. Came out in 2001, but I think this is the 2011 MPL Hear Music reissue of the album that I found, so, but nice to have. And these two came from HMV, Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell 1. This is the 1977 album. Got this on vinyl and I wanted to get the CD of it. It's got bonus tracks from like a live concert and Dead Ringer as well, which was on the album, Dead Ringer for Love, which was on Dead Ringer. And I don't need any more Meatloaf vinyl or CD. I have a very best of, have Bad Out of Hells 1 and 2. I think I've covered my Meatloaf CD collection. Got all I want now. And next up is Mika. My Name is Michael Holbrook. This came out in 2019. It's actually a really good album. I thought about getting Mika's other albums as well, and I've got one of them, so now I need to find the other two. And this is actually really good. I really enjoyed it. I really liked Tiny Love, Ice Cream. I love Paloma. San Remo, Tomorrow is good as well. Even Stay High is quite good as well, and even the Tiny Love Reprise. It's actually not a bad album. I quite like it. It's really good. There's a disc. It's pretty much the first thing I bought of Mika since I think 2009 when the album The Boy Who Knew Too Much came out, and that was actually quite good. I think I need to hear it again because I can't really remember much about The Boy Who Knew Too Much, but it was a long time ago since I last heard that album. But yeah, definitely need to give it another listen. That was a really good one as well. So that's it from the Glasgow CDs. One coming from Line, one from my record shop. Whitesnake, Live in the Heart of the City. This is their 1980 live album. I actually went and saw these next two artists, which I'm going to talk about. Really great concert, Whitesnake. They were a good concert. But David Coverdale kind of struggled with his voice a bit on during the show, but he tried his best. I know that it's Whitesnake's kind of farewell tour, so it was a good concert. I really enjoyed it. There's a song there. I don't know too much except for Fool for Your Love and Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City, both of which they did at the concert I was at the Hydro just a couple of weeks ago. And then next, I got this online, Foreigner, Mr. Moonlight. And Foreigner, I'd say, were the best of the three bands I saw, which were Europe first, but they were good. Whitesnake, Foreigner were great, and Whitesnake were good. Foreigner were probably the best in the night. I'd say Foreigner were the band I would really want to see out of the three. Oh, this is their 1994 album. And I don't really know too much except for the song White Lie, because I've got a greatest hits and it appears in that. But this is the first album where Lou Gramm came back to the band. So yeah, it should hopefully be a pretty good album, because it was the first one with Lou. It's actually the last with Lou to date, because he left in 2003 or 4, I think. So yeah. But yeah, this is just one. I've got 4 Glasgow CDs. I went there back there again because it was... I went there because my friend and I were going to see a Beatles tribute in Oranmore last weekend. So I bought a few CDs in Glasgow. 2 came from Fop and 2 came from the Oxfam. So we have Paul McCartney, Off the Ground from 1993. Don't know too much about this album, but I've heard good things about the album. I've been meaning to get it to help fill the Paul McCartney CD collection. This is the 1993, but again, I think this is the Hear Music reissue. But not nice one to have. Got it from Fop. And this one also got from Fop. Whitesnake's recent album, Flesh and Blood. This came out in 2019. It's actually a really good album. I actually haven't heard it, but it should hopefully be good. But they did the song Hey You Make Me Rock at the concert, and that was actually a pretty good one. I hadn't heard it until the concert, but yeah, it should hopefully be a good album. The most recent one. I hope to get some more Whitesnake vinyl and CD. I'm missing quite a bit in terms of vinyl and CDs, but hopefully I'll fill in those gaps. I think I've got a couple of albums on digital. But we have the Everly Brothers, Sing Great Country Hits, and Gone Gone Gone. This has two albums in one CD. I've got them both on vinyl, but I want a CD copy of them. It's got bonus tracks as well from around about the time. This came out in 2005. They also had one of the Johnny Cash bootleg album series. They did Volume 4. Don't know why I never bought that. I should have probably got it because it's quite high on Amazon, but hopefully I'll find a copy of that eventually. But nice to have this Everly Brothers one. Another Rolling Stones one, Bridges to Babylon. This is their 1997 album. Don't know too much about this one, but again, it should hopefully be a pretty good listen. These next two I got recently from Sawcuts. This is Take That, Progress. I actually had this album years ago, but I'm not too sure where my copies have went. But I remember The Flood at the time. That was a great song. Yeah, I quite like Take That when I was younger. Kind of a guilty pleasure, but they're a good band. I've got their 2 albums as well from when they were a 4-piece, and this is when Robbie Williams had come back to the band. So yeah, they're not bad, man. I can admit to like some of this stuff. And next up, Johnny Cash, the greatest country classics. Don't know too much about this copy. It's just got some different unusual tracks on here. I had the greatest was a 4-album series of different categories with the number ones, gospel, country, and duets. I had the number ones in this ages ago, but I don't know. They're not in cases. I don't know what's happened to them over the years. The CDs are bits of paper. I don't know what's happened to them, over the years. But it's quite nice to replace them. That's it for the CDs. Now we're going over the DVDs. I got them both in Glasgow. We have the Rolling Stones at Steel Wheels at Light in Atlantic City, New Jersey. This is the 1989 concert from the Steel Wheels tour. The songs there. I've also got the Bridges to Buenos Aires DVD as well. So yeah, I hope to get some of these more, Stone concert DVDs, because from what I hear, they're a great live band. So hope to find some more of them. I'm quite a big Stones fan. And next, got this from a charity shop in Glasgow when I was there with my friend. Oasis Live by the Sea. This is from the 1995 Southend Cliffs Pavilion concert. Most songs come from the first album, which is definitely Maybe. But yeah, I do quite like Oasis. Okay, now for the records. I only got one 7-inch single, and that was from the first time I went to Glasgow. Don Everly, Let's Put Our Hearts Together from 1981 on Polydor, with So Sad to Watch Good Love Go Bad live on the other side. So there's that one. And then we have... and now we're going to go over the albums. The first 2 came from a Sockets record shop, and these first 2 are really special, really ones that are cool to have, and you've probably just seen one of them. The first one up is With the Beatles. Now I've got a 2012 stereo reissue, but this is an original mono from 1963. Really nice to have an original mono of a Beatles album. Now, when I got Beatles records, I'd hoped to get all the originals, but never quite happened, so I managed to settle some reissues, but I found these 2 originals for a good price at my record shop in Sockets, so I couldn't pass them up. So yeah, really nice to have them. I know quite a few people get originals and reissues as well, so this is really good to have. Probably one of my favourite Beatles albums, this one. This is on the Yellow Parlophone label, original. I think it's a second pressing, because I've done a bit of research on them, because You Really Got a Hold of Me is You Really Got A. The got has 2 separate words, got and A, and I think the publishing credit on Money is Dominion, and some pressings it's Joe B, so that's how I knew it was a second pressing. But this is in amazing condition, really good condition. Not much of a scratch, actually plays through really well. So nice to have this one. So I hope to find the originals of the other Beatles albums. Like, I've got re-releases of Revolver and Abbey Road and Let It Be and Yellow Submarine, so I hope I find original pressings of those. It will always be nice to have an original pressings or pressings pressed from the masters, because the stereo reissues I've got are the 2009 remasters. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but it would always be nice to have a proper pressing from the original masters, so this is a nice one to have. Next is Rubber Soul, Mono 1965 original. That's the songs there. Mono again. The monos are quite interesting, I think, more than the stereos for some reason. I think I prefer mono for some reason. I'm not too sure why that is. This I don't think is the loud cut pressing, because it has a Times New Roman font, which I'm not too sure if it's common on loud cut pressings, and it also has the -4 matrices on both sides. So I've done a bit of research, and that's how I kind of found these things out, but I don't know if it is an original, because it's got the -4 matrices on both sides, so might not. It's definitely a second press, I think, so not a loud cut. There's various Beatles videos you can find out about the loud cut, sorry, on the album, but nice to have this one. So that's me got several original monos now. Now hopefully I'm going to find originals of Revolver, maybe the White Album. I've got a nice stereo pressing of the White Album, so that's okay. But definitely find originals of Yellow Submarine and Abbey Road and Let It Be. So that's that. Okay, now I'm going over to my Glasgow records that I found. Found quite a few. This is from the first time. First one up is, the first 3 came from missing, Gary U.S. Bonds and the American Men, Standing in the Line of Fire. I've got 2 Gary U.S. Bonds albums where Bruce Springsteen wrote and produced songs. This is kind of E Street Band related, because the title track is written and produced by Little Steven, also known as Steve Van Zandt. This is actually not a bad album. This came out in 1984. Quite enjoy it. I really like the title track. Sneaking Away, Wish I Could Dance Like Fred Astaire. The whole side 2 is great. Like Dance, City Lights, Come On Let's Go, and You Are the One's a really good one. So yeah, actually a pretty good album. And I might actually now get some of the other Gary West Bonds albums as well, from like the 60s and even some of the recent ones as well. It might be tricky to find, but I should hopefully be able to get my hands on some. This is actually US pressing. I didn't realise until I'd done a bit of research, because it's on the Phoenix label. It's on a different label here in the UK. But nice to have this one. So it's actually a pretty good album. I quite enjoyed it. A quite cool cover as well, with Gary S. Bonds and his black leather jacket and very 80s hairdo. Quite nice, that one. Really good to have that one. One that I've been looking for a while as well. Next up, we've got the 12-inch for Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson's Say, Say, Say. This is 1983 on Paul Allen from the Pipes of Peace album. I have the 7-inch, thought I'd get the 12-inch because it was quite cheap. Not too much on it here. Say, 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 side 1 is a remix, and side 2 has Say, Say, Say instrumental and Ode to a Koala Bear. So it's kind of like for collector purposes, but again, one that's nice to have. Parlophone. You don't see too much of these in circulation, so that's quite nice to have. Next up, David Lee Roth, Eat 'Em and Smile. Yeah, good title, that one. I don't know too much about this one. This was his first solo album after leaving Van Halen. It was at the same year as Sammy Hagar joining the band for 5150. This is 1986. Don't know too much about this one. I've also got a Skyscraper. I haven't yet heard that. I need to hear my Van Halen and David Lee Roth collection at some point, but hopefully I will. Comes with the original inner sleeve, and it's on a custom records in here on a customized label. Got this on this side. A picture of David in some kind of... I'm not sure what that's all about. And the other side's this. Yeah, quite I thought they included the original sleeve, but I think the original's got a bit of tear here, tear there, so I think the person who owned the record before me put it in a nice protective sleeve. But yeah, nice to have this one. Eat 'Em and Smile. This next one I got in Thought. 10 Days Paul McCartney Driving Rain. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Angel Dream. This is the reimagined version of the She's the One album, which I've got on CD. And I wanted to get the vinyl of it for a while, but now I've finally got the vinyl. Yeah, quite a good concept, I think. It's got it's remixed, but it's also got 4 unreleased songs, like one of Life's Little Mischief, which is from a 1992 session, I think during the Wildflowers era. A cover of J.J. Cale's 13 Days and 105 Degrees, both of which are from like July 1993. An extended version of Supernatural Radio, which is on She's the One, and the French Disconnection, which is an instrumental version of Angel Dream. So yeah, quite nice to have this one. Came out in 2021 in the original sleeve with the lyrics, no substitution, and it's just the standard black vinyl. Nice to got the blue vinyl version, but I never got the blue vinyl version. But black vinyl's okay for me. And there's the label there on Warner Records. Kind of sorry for the original She's the One album, which I have here. This is what the original label was looked like for She's the One. This is also a reissue. Right, so just put that back in. So really nice to have this one. At least finally. Hopefully we'll get some more Petty re-releases of different things. I would like to see them do some like the earlier stuff, so maybe albums like Damn the Torpedoes or Hard Promises and maybe Southern Accents, albums like that, like from the 80s. I hope that we'll eventually get re-releases of those albums as well. So next two I got from a Queen Street record shop, both Johnny Cash's, and they're both originals. First up is Songs of Our Soil, 1959. I know the song's My Grandfather's Clock. I heard Don't Step on Mother's Roses on a compilation album, and 5 Feet High and Rising, which is a popular song. This is, and Clementine I think I've heard as well. This is original from 1959 on the Philips label, not on CBS because CBS Records I don't think it started in the UK until until slightly later. In the 60s I think it probably started, because I've got some of Johnny Cash's early CBS albums on a CBS label, but I think they're like late 60s, both of the Fabulous Johnny Cash and Now There Was a Song as well. So, but nice to have this one, an original Philips one. So I hope to find an original Philips of the other ones as well. There's the Philips label in the black. It's actually in really good condition. There's actually not a bad scratch on it. It's quite nice. I really quite like that Philips label design. So really nice to find this one. It wasn't terribly expensive. So nice to have this one because you don't really see too much original Johnny Cash albums in mono from the 50s or 60s too often. But again, really nice to find this one. I think it's mono because it doesn't say stereo anywhere. Next one up is Happiness Is You from 1966. This is a mono on the CBS label. Again, don't know too much about this one. I know the song Guess Things Happen That Way, but I think that's probably a re-recording of that song because Johnny did a lot of re-recordings when he signed for Columbia. He did a lot of re-recordings of his Sun Records songs, and that was one of them. I heard Roy Orbison sing No One Will Ever Know in the In Dreams album. Somewhere about here. Which is this one I've heard Roy Orbison sing No One Will Ever Know on that album. So yeah, well, that's quite nice to have. Original mono on CBS. I have quite a lot of Johnny Cash monos from the 60s. Things like The Ring of Fire, The Best Of, Blood, Sweat and Tears, Carry On, Johnny Cash and June Carter, Orange Blossom Special, Walk the Line album, and The Fabulous Johnny Cash as well. So nice to find some of these, you know. Okay, these next three I got from my charity shops in Saltcoats. First up is more rock and roll love songs. This is a various artists compilation. I've got stuff like Bobby Darin, the Everly Brothers, Eddie Cochran, Beach Boys, Buddy Holly as well is on here, Del Shannon, Percy Sledge as well, which is quite a surprise because that was late 60s. But a lot of pretty interesting stuff and cool stuff on here. This is from 1991. I've got the that compilation, the rock and roll love songs, just down there on one of my record shelves somewhere. Gatefold sleeve, and it's a customised label on Dino Entertainment. Yeah, there's that one. Next two I got together at another charity shop, the Monumental Roy Orbison. Now, I have this record just somewhere, but mine had a which is this one, but it had the incorrect record in it. I'll just put that back in. But this one has the right record in it, and this is a compilation album of Monument songs, but which is quite nice. But unfortunately, I got the record home and inspected it, and it's got you can't really see it, but there's a deep scratch on there, and that looks as if it could affect play. It was quite dirty, but I managed to clean the dirt off, and it actually doesn't look too bad. It's just there's a deep scratch and on the first track, Oh Pretty Woman, which is a little bit annoying because I do really like that song, but I have like other compilations of that. But hopefully I'll find a better copy of this record, and the cover's a little bit, you know, worn. It does look a little bit tatty, but hopefully I'll find a much better copy of this album. And the other one was this, which is Billy Joel, Greatest Hits Volumes 1 and 2. I do really like Billy Joel, but he's not kind of artist I want albums of. Maybe a Greatest Hits would do, and maybe two of his popular albums would do me fine as well. But he does have a lot of great songs on here. Stuff like Piano Man and Just the Way You Are, Uptown Girl as well. So yeah, a lot of good stuff on here as well. And Still Rock and Roll to Me is pretty good as well. So yeah, quite an interesting one to have. Again, I bought this the same day as the Roy Orbison, Monumental Roy Orbison. But unfortunately, this one is in far worse condition than the Roy Orbison one. And I had no idea until I got the album home, but there's like a big scratch on this surface. It's quite hard to see, but there is like a very deep scratch on the first side in this surface. I've actually managed trying to clean some of the dirt as well. The second record's probably worse than the first. There's like a lot of scratches, marks, and it looks completely unplayable. But I had no idea about it until after I'd bought it. But they were both cheap, and I hope to find better copies of both. I know this can be quite difficult to find. I've tried looking on eBay and I've had no luck so far, but I'm going to keep looking until I find a better copy of Billy Joel's Greatest Hits Volumes 1 and 2. So I'll still keep searching until I find it. But I have no doubt I'll find it eventually. So that. And the last three come from different places. This one I got from my Socket record shop. Paul McCartney and Wings 12-inch single for Goodnight Tonight. got the 7-inch of this, and again I wanted the 12-inch. You don't see the 12-inch of this one too often. It's got quite a nice picture sleeve to it, but I don't know if the 7-inch has ever had this one, but this 12-inch one's got a nice picture sleeve to it. Paul and Linda and the band looking very 1930s there. Daytime, nighttime suffering on the other side. I really like the inner sleeve design, with Good Night Tonight on that side, with Daytime, Nighttime Suffering. Now, this is a extended version of this song on one side. And I think it's Daytime, Nighttime Suffering is just the standard version on the B side. 1979. So yeah, really good to have this one. Another one to add to the Paul McCartney and solo Beatles collections. These next two I got from a record shop in Glasgow when I went there with my friend to see the Beatles tribute. We went there just before the Beatles tribute. This is quite unusual because I thought this record shop had been shut for like even during COVID. I thought it was like going to be shut completely, but to my surprise it was still open. And I found these two. First up is the Rolling Stones, Flowers. This is one of the US albums from the 60s, 1967. It's got some stuff on it, like Ruby Tuesday. I know quite a lot of the songs. The first 4 I kind of know. The rest I'm not too sure, but I should hopefully hear them and know them. This is a mono, as it says down there, which is cool on the London label, on the red London label. Nice to have this one. And the record's actually in pretty not too bad condition, pretty good shape. Really nice to have this one. One that you'll probably never get, else probably thought I would never see again, so I went and bought it. So that one. Last two, and this is the last Glasgow purchase. George Harrison, Living in the Material World. This is his 1973 album. One that I didn't think I was going to get my hands on for a long time, or many solo Beatles records I never thought, but now I have. This is an original pressing from 1973 on Apple. Unfortunately, my copy's missing the book, but that's not too bad. I can always find a copy with the book, maybe one of the reissues. And the record's on Apple, but it's on a customised label. Yeah, it's not too bad condition. There's actually a few scuffs, a bit scuffy, but I think the person who I got it from said that it shouldn't affect play. It's not really noticeable except for quiet bits, but hopefully it should be okay. So, nice to have this one from 1973, Living in the Material World. And the last one is from a Sockers record purchase. A bit early, I know, but Christmas with the Everly Brothers and the Boys Town Choir. Now this is a bit early, I know, but this is kind of like the Everly Brothers, for the Everly Brothers collection. This is one of those 80s reprints, I think, but it originally came out in 1962. But yeah, really nice to have this one on Warner Brothers. So yeah, this might be good to listen to at Christmas time, or sort of near Christmas time, but it's nice to have for the collection. I've also got a Christmas REO Speedwagon album as well, so yeah, nice to have this one. Bit early now, but anyways, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more content, leave a link, subscribe down below and turn the notifications on. So hopefully I should make more videos quite soon. I think I've got first time listens coming up quite soon because I've listened to quite a bit of albums in the last wee while. I haven't really made much videos because I've been quite focused on my college course at the minute, and once that kind of wraps up I should hopefully have more time to make videos. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.